All right, hello everyone. Today we have Mr. Peyton Jenkins. You may know him as the 7th grade super teacher at Jones Senior. Let's welcome him to class.
Hi, everybody.
Hi,
How's it going, Michael?
I'm doing well, thank you. You are the first person I think to ask me that.
Manners, people, manners.
All right, so we like to start with a bell ringer. And what I need to know is who's your starter Pokemon? You going Bulbasaur, Charmander, or Squirtle?
Oh, okay.
Out of those three, not all out of all.
I was about to say, if you were giving me all of them, that is way too much. Charmander.
Charmander.
Absolutely.
Charmander, the lizard Pokemon. When the tip of Charmander's tail burns brightly, that indicates it's in good health.
So interesting story. I know this is about you, but Christmas Eve, I just restarted playing Pokemon Go like a month or two ago.
Nice.
And we were at my grandchildren's house, so my stepdaughter's house, and it's rainy, it's nasty out like it is right now. And my little phone pulsed that there was a Charmander nearby. I got off the couch and grabbed my coat, and Pam's like, "Where are you going?" I'm like, "There's a Charmander down the road." She's like, "It's raining outside." I'm like, "I don't care, I have a hood." And I went.
They had an event going on this past week where I was like, I have to leave my house at 7:30 at night to go walk down the street to go get this thing that otherwise I'm not going to be able to get.
Exactly.
It was ridiculous.
And now
it has that effect on people. You're just like, I gotta go right now because otherwise I'm never gonna see this again.
So I've only seen like 2 since I've been playing, and so I had to go catch that one, and I got him, thankfully.
Because you gotta catch them all.
It teaches us obsession, and I don't know if that's a good lesson.
I don't know
still in our youth.
I've not stopped playing since it came out. Like every day, it's an app that has been opened on my phone.
Never during work hours, though.
No, absolutely not. That's like first thing when I wake up.
Send out gifts.
When I go home.
All right. So we'll switch to our essential questions.
Okay.
And the first one is, can you tell us how you came to teach in Jones County?
Oh, okay. I actually got started with any sort of instruction with teaching a GED class at LCC. Mm-hmm. And then my family had known, oh goodness gracious. My sister was involved with the junior Miss competition at one point. And then, who was it? Oh, my brain, names went right out my head.
It is very early in the morning, everyone.
So. It is very early in the morning. Let's hope caffeine helps. Hold on. She's the principal at Comfort. I can tell you that. Her name has completely left my brain.
Oh, it's Miss Downs.
Thank you, Miss Downs. Miss Downs then talked to my mom about the fact that she and I apparently had the same major in college, and she was at that point in time on her way moving into her vice principalship at Jones Middle School, and encouraged me to put in an application through my mom. So I put in an application, and 3 days before the start of the fall semester, I got a call saying, "Hey, you've been approved. You start on Monday." I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, here we go." Put in my notice at the LCC, and they were like, "Okay, we understand. Full-time position. Have fun. Good luck." And here I am.
All right. And we're lucky to have you. Who was your favorite teacher growing up? And then how did that help shape your educational philosophy and your style of teaching?
There are so many. I had Miss Greenberg at Pollocksville Elementary. I had Miss Caraway. They were both really fun and really engaging, and they seemed to care about us a lot. In high school, it was Miss Pollock and Chip Duncan. Miss Pollock was my art teacher. I loved art. I wound up getting an art minor in college because of her. And Chip Duncan was my honors biology teacher freshman year. And I loved science. I just wound up not following through with a degree in science when I hit college because I got way more interested in Japan and international studies and international relations and all of that sort of stuff. So lots of amazing teachers that have definitely impacted me over the years.
And for those that don't know, you spent some time abroad in Japan, right?
I did. I've been to Japan on three separate occasions. I was there for a semester abroad, had a great time. I was there for 4 months. I went as a nanny about 3.5 years ago now, which is crazy to think about. I was looking after a little 3-year-old. That was a lot of fun. I was there for 2 months. Mm-hmm. And then I recently went with a colleague's son for a whirlwind 2-week tour, and it was so much fun. It was a great experience.
I can't imagine. I was there for one day. We had a long layover on the way to Indonesia, and it was just so awe-inspiring. I was in Kyoto, I think, and we got to go to some temples and things, and I just wish I had more time.
There's never enough time. Whatever time you think you have there, there's never enough, because there's so much that you want to do. I still have things that I want to do when I go back.
The thing that stuck with me the most was, and our person that led my study abroad was trying to tell us this, is when they say the bus is going to leave at 7:57, they're leaving. It's not like here where they'll wait, they see you coming. And so we missed so many buses being, Americans on the tour. We're like, gotta go now. Yep. And that thing's just like, see you.
The nice thing about it, though, is it's so regimented that there's another one coming in 5 minutes.
Right. How do you think students are going to remember you in your class, or how do you hope they remember you in your class?
I hope they remember my love you, mean it, bye at the end of the day, but I know that that's not the case. Several of them have just remembered me from, like, apparently I roast really well, which is not a very good trait to have as a teacher. And I acknowledge that, but sometimes you just have to, like, okay, you're a little sassy right now, so I'm going to get a little sassy right back. So here we go. And usually we laugh about it and we get back on track and we do what we're supposed to do.
Oh, man.
Several of them have told me over the years that that's what they remember about my class. I'm like, that is not the point.
You're like, what about this lesson?
All of the lessons.
You remember
remember about cells, please. Please remember cells when you get to Miss Wicks. Please remember all the mitosis and meiosis when you get to biology over at the high school level. Come on.
What's been the hardest part about teaching this year during the pandemic?
Not seeing all my kids and building the relationships. It took me a while to figure out the balance of being pretty strict in the classroom and being able to build rapport with students. That has been the biggest struggle for me, is not being able to see them in person and making sure that they get the material. Because there's so many times where if they're on the Zoom meeting, they'll just be like, yeah, I got it. Mm-hmm. Didn't do a thing, didn't take the notes. It's hard to gauge whether or not they've got it when their camera's off. Mm-hmm. Not to mention having to flip to all virtual instruction and making all these digital copies of things that you otherwise would have been doing in the classroom in a much more engaging and kinesthetic way. That's been a struggle, and trying to figure out how to make that meet and work.
It's especially, you bring up that kinesthetic element, and just that energy in the classroom just can't be recreated.
Like, I can't have them move, I can't have them collaborate like they used to. I can't have them work together in a small group setting, because a small group setting becomes them having to raise their voice 6 feet away to somebody, and then the next table also hears their answers. So,
right. Has any positives come out of this style of teaching?
I got so much technology PD done because I had to. I've learned so much about Google Classroom, all the Google methods. I've found some really great resources. CK12 is wonderful for reading resources with questions that go along with it. Ed Puzzle is a fantastic video lesson. So, like, if I covered something, but I need it done with interesting videos and pictures and other things that I just do not have the time to be able to put together myself, Ed Puzzle can give a video, but then also give questions that stop and check the kids' learning along the way. Like, I found some tremendous resources because I've been forced to think more outside the box.
Excellent. And last essential question, why is science and social studies the most important subject to learn?
Social studies is probably the most important because this is what teaches you how to be a good citizen. It's what teaches you about our history. It's what teaches you specifically about other cultures, for me, because I teach world history. And that is so important, especially with today's era. It gets us to understand empathy. It gets us to understand where other people are coming from and other people's experiences, and that other people's experiences have value. Mm-hmm. Because we don't all go through the same thing. Like, living in a separate state sometimes gives you a different experience and a view of life. Like, that's a kind of, not to mention living in Japan gives somebody a completely different experience. Growing up somewhere else, that's huge. Science, you have to understand how the world works. Like, you need to understand physics. You need to understand that gravity is a thing and it works for a reason. The world is round. That was an argument.
Just lost
You
all
also need to
track
understand
of
how your
physics
body
standards.
works. You need to understand how physics works. How to predict weather is important if you don't have time to check the weather that day. Although our apps pretty much tell us what the weather is going to be if we need to. Hey Google, what's the weather today?
Cuckoo! What is raining today? Water.
Yeah.
Oh my God, answer. It said yeah.
All of that. But so many things are important. The things that I teach, I'm like, okay, you need to understand how your body works, weather, how that affects things, physics.
So a healthy body is the best gift you can give yourself.
Absolutely.
I'm learning that now at almost 40, and I wish I'd have learned it much younger.
It's a balance. We all struggle with it from time to time.
All right. Well, those are our essential questions. So now we're at that point in the day. You know, today is Friday. So you try your best to get to that parking lot. And I know you get stopped by any number of silly questions. So I'm here to stop you with silly questions. And it's your job to see how fast you can get to your car.
Speed round.
So
Okay.
we're gonna sprint to the parking lot. Are you ready?
Yep. Ready as I'm going to be.
Finish this sentence. Please don't make me read a book about blank.
Real life. I like fiction.
Okay. I know you're big into theater. How does theater help you in the classroom? And then how does also your teaching help you in the theater?
Classroom is basically a performance. And if you rehearse your stuff ahead of time, like you do with your lines, you're able to perform in the classroom just like you would on stage. It's just on a smaller scale. Teaching back in the other way, it's confidence building in both ways. That was one of the reasons why I started doing theater, was I knew I was going to start teaching. So why not get on stage and get over that stage fright?
Right. Excellent points. Is there any character that you would just love to play?
Oh, so many. Monty Navarro in A Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder would be so much fun. It's completely ridiculous. It's about, that's not the question. Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder. Look it up if you care.
So you're playing the game correctly. All right. What about direct? Is there anything specifically you would want to direct?
I was supposed to direct Matilda last May, and that got shut down because of the pandemic. So I still would very much love to direct Matilda.
All right. And can I get a promise on record that if you ever get the chance to locally direct Hamilton, that you will let me be King George or Hercules Mulligan?
No, because I want to be King George.
Okay, Hercules.
I will not direct because I want to be King George.
Okay, well, can you pull some strings?
I'll see what I can do. I'll promise I'll see what I can do. I can't guarantee anything there.
Dang it. All right. Why is Eevee your favorite Pokemon?
Oh, I have a sticker on the back of my laptop that is written in Japanese, and it basically translates to "the possibilities are endless." Eevee is one of those Pokemon where, regardless of whatever situation you put it in, it's going to adapt to be able to be best suited for whatever you put it in. That's why I love Eevee. I love the adaptability of it.
I knew you were going to say that. I'm like, I bet he answers this.
Absolutely.
What's something weird or considered weird that you would recommend everyone try at least once?
Oh, it's not weird. Study abroad, get out of the country, learn a language, go somewhere else.
All right. I agree. If you had to take a 10-hour flight, say you're going back to Japan, who is someone you would love to sit by during a 10-hour flight?
Oh gosh.
I'm just blowing your mind with all these.
Anybody that's ever played a Marvel superhero in a movie, like, can I just say that?
Okay, in that case, I think I want Tom Holland.
Give me Hugh Jackman, Ryan Reynolds, Chris Evans, Henry Cavill. Yeah.
Any of them?
Any of them. I would absolutely be thrilled. I would geek out the entire time. I don't know that I'd say anything. I'd just be sitting there. Hi.
Hey,
you've played superheroes.
Can I call you Wolverine? Like, I'm Hugh. You know, I was also in Broadway and plays and things. No.
Oh my gosh, Hugh Jackman with those connections, that probably would win it out.
What's something that people think makes them look cool, but you think it just makes them look ridiculous?
Oh. Sagging pants. I don't need to know what your underwear looks like. I
Oh,
don't. Nobody does.
even if they're like Gucci underwear.
No, I don't care. There are very few people that need to know what your underwear looks like, and it needs to be the people that do your laundry and you.
Right. What weird food combination do you enjoy?
It's a guilty pleasure. I love hot dogs mixed in with macaroni and cheese. That was like a staple when I was growing up, and I still sometimes just like, I'm gonna make some hot dogs and some macaroni and cheese and just mix them all together.
That's just eating nostalgia. That's all.
Yes, exactly.
All right. So back to our flight. What is the worst or the most disappointing comic book movie that's been made?
Oh, I've not been terribly pleased with most DC movies because they don't do a very good job of villain building. That's what hurts me the most. Their first Justice League movie, I was very disappointed because it just did not have good villain building.
I can agree with that. And as a Fantastic Four has a dear place in my heart because it's a family oriented, and those movies have always been trash.
I've not been able to bring myself to watch the latest one.
I haven't either. And I love Michael B. Jordan, and I still haven't watched it.
Yep. Oh, but he did a fantastic job in Black Panther. Oh my God.
You're not telling me that's vibranium too, huh?
No, I'm just feeling it.
Right. And that
is an example of very good villain building.
Oh yeah. And like, it's a good villain when you can get most of the audience to agree with you or see your point. Like Magneto,
That's the thing.
I can see his point, especially Magneto. Thanos, you can maybe get on board with that. Killmonger, you're like, maybe. I mean, I can see where he's coming from. That's a good
The
villain.
important thing is understanding why a villain is doing what they're doing.
Let's see. In D&D, what's your favorite class to play?
Oh, my current favorite class is a paladin.
I'm a pirate paladin right now. Not to get
Nice.
too deep for this. Okay. I've always wanted to play druid.
I've always wanted to play a bard. I've been told I would be a very good bard, but I've just not done it because everybody's like, you'd be so good at it, but I want to try something different, please.
The whole subculture of hate for bards is out there. Like,
that is true.
It's a strong.
We despise our bard in our current campaign because he just gets us into trouble.
It's like, I got my axe. I've got my sword. I got my lute. Let me sing this thing to sleep. All right. What makes you feel old?
I have kids that are driving. I taught these children 7 years ago and they're driving. No, I don't like it. Also, it's now 2021. That age gap is very important for a very certain reason. And now everybody that's before 2000, my mind blew when that one happened. I was like, oh gosh.
When I get ID'd for things, it blows my mind now. I'm like, really? I'm like,
there's a TikTok where, oh, do you need to see my ID? No, you're good. I can see the one from here. The one.
All right, your last question. I just had to throw this in as a bonus. Star Trek or Star Wars?
Oh, this is going to give me some hate regardless of my answer. Star Wars, because let's be perfectly honest, The Mandalorian has killed it. Sorry, I was being on Star Trek when you had the Chris Pine. When those started coming out, I was like, yes, Star Trek, absolutely. And then Mandalorian happened. I was like, but Star Wars though. Right.
In Star Wars defense, the new Star Trek movies were much more Star Warsy than Star Trek.
They were.
That's what made them better.
Yeah.
Seychelles is going to kill me after this interview. Okay, so she's a big old trekker. You made it to the parking lot. Congratulations. I know we could talk about this all day, and you're just trying to get your key in your door. You're like, okay, Parker, that's enough comic nerd stuff. But before we end the interview, we need your exit ticket, and that is if you just had, all of our audience out there, the millions and millions of people that watch this, your one chance to leave this impression on the world. What advice or what impression would you like to leave?
If you're ever thinking about doing something important or big in your life and it scares you, don't let the fear stop you. Push through. If it scares you, do it.
All right. Great advice.
That's how I got to Japan.
Great advice. Well, thank you for sitting down with me. This has been a lot of fun for me. I
absolutely enjoyed it myself.
A lot of fun. It's Michael White's birthday tomorrow, says my computer. So
Well, happy birthday to him.
happy birthday. And we will see you in the hallways. Please like and subscribe, share with all your people, and we'll see you next episode.
Bye, everybody. If I had thought about it, I would have trimmed up the neck beard, but here we are.
He could do this. So
The entire time, just, hey, how's it going?
I do that to cover up my neck fat. So if you see me start doing this,
I do this a lot.